Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a very special edition of the JP Peterson Show. As you can tell, we are not in studio. We are at a beautiful, gorgeous golf course, one of the most beautiful in all of Tampa Bay, dare I say, the United States. It is the Copperhead, and we are here for the Pro Rivals Cup. Some of the biggest names in sports are here competing in golf, not their regular sports, but golf. So we'll tell you all about that as we go through the day. We got lots of guests stopping by, so sit back, relax. We got 2 hours of Tampa Bay sports-centric talk coming your way, a lot of golf talk. We'll have some surprise guests and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm in my good friend IndyCar Tim Ham from our Dallas affiliate. What's up, Timmy? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Your scenery's a lot better than mine here, stuck in the studio in Dallas, but things could be worse. Things could be worse. We're going to talk sports today. That's all that matters.
You know what? Because I can do this, I'm just going to pick up the phone and hopefully not take the air here and just give you a little turnaround. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at that.
This is the 18th green at the Copperhead, the famed Copperhead, one of the greatest courses on the PGA Tour. And now some of the biggest names in sports are going to be playing this all weekend here, so you guys can come out and check it out. So what they have basically is 4 major sports are represented, 12 guys on each team in kind of a Ryder Cup format. John Smoltz, who we had on the show earlier in the week, who finished second in my fantasy football division to moi for the first time. Thank God. We'll talk about that, of course. John Smoltz in baseball, Jerome Bettis, another Hall of Fame in football, Ray Allen in basketball, and Jeremy Roenick in hockey. And this thing is going to blow up into something really, really huge. So we'll talk about that as we go through the day. So Coach Z is going to join us. David Zimroth, who coached Bobby Sura at FSU. Bobby Sura from the NBA is here as well. And we got all fun stuff coming your way. We're going to talk some Bucs Chargers. The injury list is long and distinguished, as we talked about yesterday. College football has absolutely lost its mind. Bill Belichick is now going to coach North Carolina. All right, give me a 1 to 10 on that succeeding. There we go. Back to school for Bill Belichick at 73 years old, 14 wins shy of the
contract.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I hate to disparage our good friends at the University of North Carolina, but this has zero chance of working. Like zero.
Well, it's for his kid, right? I mean, that's why he's doing it.
His kid?
Yeah, his kid's going to come on as like the defensive coordinator with him, and in the contract, it's when Bill retires or quits, his kid gets the job. Like, that's the whole reason for this happening.
Because nepotism always works out well in the meritocracy sports, doesn't it? It always works well. You got to get your kids involved. What a whole idea on so many levels. I thought this was just leverage to get an NFL job, but I guess that's not happening, so he's going to do this. Can you imagine him going into some 16-year-old kid's house?
Not doing any of that. He is not doing any of that. He's got a guy that's going to do recruiting. He's got a guy that's going to be in charge of the NIL. He's not doing anything except showing up at the game and coaching.
Yeah, that doesn't work in college football. That doesn't work in college football. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show as we go through it. Thomas Castellanos is now the new Florida State quarterback. I'm guessing this is being received in Seminole Nation with a huge thud. Like the message boards are going off and none of it is positive. So FSU just continues to misstep. I'm not a huge fan of the Castellanos sign. Yes, he can run it. He can throw it a little bit. He's not a very good passer. He's basically a running back playing quarterback. But, hey, Gus Malzahn took Nick Marshall to the national championship game against FSU. So who knows what he can do with Castellanos.
Hey, there's lots of running backs.
It can't be worse than last year.
There's lots of running backs that played quarterback in college and they were decent. You know, Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, to name a few.
I don't think he's in any of those categories. Listen, the dude is a hell of an athlete and a hell of a runner. But again, you know, hey, it can't be worse than last year. I guess that's one way of looking at it. But hopefully there's an actual quarterback competition. So we'll see. We'll get into that and so much more. But right now I want to welcome in good friend of the show, 3 gold medal champion. Look at that. There she is. the great Brooke Bennett, who's been working with the Pro Rivals Cup here and also benefiting CFY, right,
Yeah.
where you're working right now. And I also want to get a better shot of you than there is of me. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, a little chilly, hence the hat.
Love the
That one's
lightning.
that's for you.
Yeah.
No, well,
That is
yes,
sweet.
gotta
So
love
nice.
it, and the CFY pullover. So a little chilly for us, but at least the rain came through yesterday, and the guys can get out on the course. And like you said, starting off the show, this is a unique format.
Yeah.
48 former professional athletes, Hall of Famers, Olympians are here in the area. I got to attend the players' dinner last night. It was a little rowdy, but you know what I love?
I'm so jealous.
I filet mignon. The drinks were flowing. No, it was great.
Oh my God.
Woke up a little slow this morning, but a lot of trash talking going on, which you gotta love. That's what these guys do. Very competitive. They're taking this very seriously on the lineups and how everything is going to play out till Saturday, but all of them, and I've heard all the players and all the interaction, that this is for the spectator. They are here. The weather's going to be perfect. Bring your families out. Bring your kids. They want to interact. They want to do autographs. They want to take pictures. So
Wait. They want to do autographs?
They want to. That's what they're saying. They want to do that. So get this. You're here, and we know we're used to seeing this as the major PGA stop. It's a very game if you come out here in the spring for the Valspar. This is very different, and this is the inaugural kickoff for what you said is something that's going to be huge, that is going to allow these guys to continue to be competitive after their playing days are over. And as a competitive athlete myself, the itch never goes away. Yeah. So this is awesome.
And Coach Z, who's going to join us a little bit later on, was out at the driving range, and I said, Z, tell me, are there hacks out there? Can these guys play golf? He's like, no, these guys are all single digit handicaps. There's no hacks out there. Yeah, they're good players. So you're not going to see hack golf, but you're going to see guys that like you won't PGA Tour event, Timmy, as you know. Yeah. Like half the names, I have no idea who these people are. And you come out here, I can go through the roster of some of the Ray Allen, Jerome Bettis, Bobby Sura, Jeremy Roenick, John Barry, John Smoltz, Nick Van Exel, Dan Marley, Joe Carter from the Blue Jays. I mean, these are guys we know and grow up. So when you come out here, you want to get an autograph. It's not from, no disrespect to the PGA Tour, but Joe Bag of Donuts that you never heard of. Right?
Totally different. I mean, these are the guys that you're used to watching, through the series and Smoltz, and talk about his career. And it's a good friend of ours. I mean, know the best of the best. I mean, these guys are analysts in their sports now, and they're taking time out of their schedule. The greatest thing is I got to talk to Jeremy a couple months ago before Thanksgiving, and I asked him, how do you go about figuring out who your 12 are, right? And we use the old school term of going through your Rolodex, and even Smoltz, he goes, if you were the first one to respond to me and pick up the call, you were selected on my team. And now, as this is rolling out, they're all getting calls and text messages. It's like, how come I didn't get selected? How do I get selected onto your team? And so these players are seeing this and want to be involved. I mean, they have put this on first class. I've been able to see it from the start. Visit St. Clearwater called up us at CFY. We're lucky enough to be the benefiting nonprofit of this event and rolling it out. This is the inaugural event. If you go to the Pro Rivals Cup website, you can see the list of tournaments that are going to be coming throughout 2025. And then coming back this time next year, it's going to be 48 baseball players forming and coming together to play more on an individual lineup. It's going to
be like the baseball tour.
They're going to have a football tour, a hockey tour, and I know you'll get more of this as you get more of your guests coming in. So I don't want to steal their thunder, but this is really amazing for our area, for CFY and what we do for youth athletics. So that talking to Jerome Bettis yesterday gave me a great 48-second clip that I cut down to about 24 seconds. But you've got 48 players out here, and they're all could share a story about their time play athletics. And CFY is not about, having the next Hall of Famer, the Bucs, not having the next Major League Baseball pitcher out there. This is about our kids in the community where families, are having to choose between the water and the electric bill or their child playing youth athletics. And that's where CFY steps these partners with our programs. We're supporting 45 programs this year in Pinellas County.
Wow.
We're going to give close to $1 million. So through athletics, which is what we call kind of our bread and butter, but we also do post-secondary scholarships. And in 22, when I came on board with CFY, we started a water safety program with elementary schools. And we've put more than 1,800 kids through water safety lessons here in Pinellas County. And we know how important that is. Absolutely. And we're giving kids the opportunity to play youth athletics. It's skill building activities that goes down to our mission. What do these kids gain? They better individuals as adults. Yep. They learn how to win and lose gracefully. And they're being around role models and peers where, let's face it, sometimes these kids don't go home to those things. And so with our relationships with these youth athletic programs in Pinellas and these volunteer coaches and the boards of these volunteers that come out for the kids, for me, it's just a full circle moment after everything I've accomplished.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, because sports, as we've detailed on this show so many times, what it can do for youth and all those the role models and the discipline thing that you just ran down. But it's so expensive these days. I mean, kids just put your kid in a Y to play basketball is $200. I mean, a lot of families don't have that, and that's where you guys step in, right?
It is exactly. So CFY runs 6 grant cycles through the year. So these youth athletic programs get all their paperwork lined up and they submit their grants to CFY. And so that can be through youth athletic reimbursement. So that's the biggest one. That's the key. That pays the fees. Yeah. So that funding goes to that program. And then the program can disperse and say, so if a family comes into, let's use, because we're just south of Tarpon Springs, goes in Springs Spongers, their son wants to play youth football. And the family comes in and says, I really want my child to be involved. I see the benefits of this, but I can really only afford $50 of the $200 registration fee. That's where CFY steps in. And the money has to come from somewhere. And for many times it's the other leads, it's the coaches, it's that. So CFY steps in and that kid can now play or cheer, The other part of that is you look at these sports and the equipment is so expensive. We have a 50-50 equipment grant. So we do. So that's football helmets, that's shoulder pads, that's new cheer costume, batting cages, soccer goals, you name it, right? So that program again can submit a grant to CFY and we're going to match that. And we actually pay the vendor. So the program shows us how are they raising their portion of the cost. So if it's $10,000, they're going to show us how they raise their portion. CFY is
they got some skin in the game.
They do. We want it, and that's important. You want those programs to go out and you want them to make the effort for these kids to be safe, but we want them on the field, on the court, on the track, wherever it may be. We're supporting boxing programs down in Lellman. We've got lacrosse programs. So think outside of the box programs, track and field. We work with Dunedin Fine Arts as far as the kids to be able to go to summer camp. Anything that puts our youth today in a positive environment to grow and achieve and become future role models and future citizens, adults of our community.
How do they get in if they want to get involved? How do they get in touch with you guys? How do they get the fees paid? All that. What's the website?
So if you go to cfypinellas.org, you can go on and that's kind of our front door. You can see all about our programs. You can see our partners. So, obviously if you're a programmer, you're a family and there's a program that we don't know about that we're not supporting yet, you can reach out to us. We have an amazing program manager, Eric Harris, who builds those relationships with those programs. I'm on the development side. So if you're a business, an individual that wants to have an annual partnership with CFY, you believe in our mission, reach out to me. I'm on the website. Brooke@cfys.org is my email. We have events going on and we're just building that brand. Though we've been around since 1972, it's a completely different brand in 2024 and as we go into 2025. When I came into CFY, we were funding about 15 to 20 programs in the range of about $300,000. This year, we're at 45 programs and it'll be close to $1 million back into Pinellas County.
That's awesome. So you got the website. All right, before you go, I have to ask you a couple other questions. Who's the biggest trash talker at the the event last night? I'm going to go Roenick.
Roenick, Roenick, and of course
The
bus has got some trash talk, and
nice.
The word on the course is whoever can take baseball down.
Yeah,
it
I
needs
think
to
baseball's
happen.
the favorite, right?
Baseball is by far the
Smoltz,
favorite.
he's like a -2 handicap.
Well,
he's played in U.S. Open, Senior Opens. He's played Senior Tour, so he's a player.
And he gave the greatest thing. And, of course, there's trash talking on what sport they play and how often they play and how much they practice. And Smoltz had a great, I'll kind of ad lib, but it was talking about, you got, Bettis and the what they have to do, and they get one day off, and it's a grind and it's a travel. Smoltz is like, I'm a pitcher. I choose to be in the major league, but I only have to, play every 5 days. And so what are you doing? What are you doing on all those other days?
Golf.
They would say, he was the guy that was traveling and going to the games, and he had his clubs on the team plane.
Well, Smoltz, Glavin,
the advantage of
Maddox,
that.
they played golf the week.
Exactly. So around the pitching schedule,
I don't think Bettis was doing that during the season.
And I said, here's the great thing about this is we're talking about the 4 major pro sports, but there is talk, and this is, with the Etzel agency, and I think Tom's going to come up on the show later. This was his vision, and I talked to him last night as he was the players dinner. I said, are you happy? Can you believe this is happening? And we've already, and I threw out, I go, not that I'm one of them.
Where this is going.
There's a lot of great golfers that are Olympians, and
women.
You need to, we've got 48 men out here today. You need to add in Olympians, and you need to add in some women.
Yeah.
And the greatest thing about an Olympic team out here on the course is you're not going to have to cover one sport.
Yeah.
You could have a baseball player, you could have a soccer player, you could have a gymnast, you could have a swimmer, you could have, so the Olympic team is actually going to be diverse of an athlete than
Michael
what your
Phelps
baseball
plays. He plays very good golf.
He's a very, so put him as your captain and let him start filling that team.
I like it.
Yeah.
And a lot of names that people will know.
Exactly.
All right, and of course I have to ask
Hey,
you this question.
JP, real quick, can I I have a question for her.
Yes.
I don't know if she can hear me or not. So all you need to do, Brooke, is if you'll just wear your Olympic gold medals, your 3 gold medals while you're walking around the course, if somebody starts trash talking at you, just like, I can't hear you because of my 3 gold medals in my ears.
Clinking around.
Perfect one right there.
Right? Yes. Well, and Jeremy Roenick is an Olympian.
That's right.
He's not here. So and here's, we use the word, former professional athlete. Like, I'm a former swimmer. But I always say, and you've probably heard me say this before, you cannot be a former Olympian. Once an Olympian, always Olympian. It's kind of like when you go to school to become a doctorate, that is your title. You are Dr. Such. Yeah. So these Olympians that would come out here, that's your title. And we're not titled as the former. Yeah. We are, and we will always be Olympians. And so that is one up on what these guys have out here. You're absolutely right.
All right, so I have to ask you this question because it is a question of the times, highly political.
Oh gosh,
you know where I'm going.
No.
How do you feel about the LPGA has just made a rule that if you're born a male and you go through puberty as a male, you cannot play on the LPGA tour? We're waiting for the NCAA and the Olympics.
Yep.
We've had the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah.
That's upheld that. Where are you on this?
Yeah, and I came on the show and you gave me the floor when everything was buzzing around swimming and the Will and the Leah Thomas saga. And I have many of friends with many different likes and beliefs and all those types of things, and that is perfectly fine.
As do I, yeah.
But when it comes to sports, no equal playing field for a female to go and compete with men and men to come and compete with women. It has to, there is no black, there is no gray. Right. It is black and white. I'm sorry.
It's X and Y.
It is. And an average male athlete in any sport, in golf, take it in swimming, take it on track and field, they are always, an average male athlete will crush 9 times out of 10 the most elite female athlete in any sport. And look, if I'm like not happy with being a woman and I decide that I want to go through this change, how am I going to go compete with a Michael Phelps? It's impossible. So the conversation just needs to end, and we need to understand that in sport.
By the way, please don't do that.
It is this and this. But there doesn't need to be a Supreme Court decision. It doesn't need to be
common
this sport.
sense.
That it is common sense. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's not bigotry.
And it's not a disrespect. I am not disrespecting anybody's beliefs, anything of what they are and what they believe they are and what makes them happy.
We're talking about sports.
Yes,
competition
and
in
that's
sports.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
and it's a common respect. I'm sorry. A male is not going to go through the same cycle that a female is, and what women athletes have to go through in order to compete around what our body does monthly.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
I can't even imagine.
No.
Cannot imagine. I can imagine, but I can't.
Well, I'm pulling my hair out and crying and want to curl up in a ball, but I still have to go to swim practice and I still have to train, but I have no choice but to push through this. Give me one man that understands that, other than you have sympathy, or you're like, oh my God, my wife is over here, and I'm like, I want nothing to do. We're on opposite sides of the house.
As we male, all we know is stay away.
Exactly.
Just get away.
Yeah.
Give them their space.
Yeah.
Get the hell out. They don't like you right now, so just shut and go away.
Yes.
I passed a couple of kidney stones once, but that's about as close as I can come.
Yeah. Listen,
Once in a lifetime, not every month.
I had two wonderful, amazing boys. I was not the woman that loved pregnancy. I hated it from day one.
But you did it again.
And I did do it again after being on bed for 20 weeks with my first son and in the hospital. So it was, but
some days it's worth it.
And you just, and some days if I look at them, I go, this is not the headache.
You're going back. You're going back. Yeah.
But yeah, so a blessing to be, a woman in sports, and we have to save sports on both the men's side and women's side.
Well, I think it's definitely being done in Florida, and so thanks, Ronnie D, for that. And looks like it's going to, be. I think now that the LPGA has done it, everybody else has done it. I think every other organization should follow suit. It's just,
and it's I mean it's the same avenue as keeping sports.
And it's
really almost in the same
but
sentence.
It's about supporting women's sports.
Yes.
It's not bigotry. It's about supporting women's sports, where there's a lot more women athletes than there are transgender. Obviously, the numbers are.
And I know sports, and I know swimming has been won in World Cups as they've attempted to have open categories, and they get no participation.
Right.
Nobody signs up. The category is not filled. So it's like where you're attempting to say, okay, we're going to do something that is right for everyone, enter into the open category, but then that's not good enough. So if that's not good enough, then we just need to stick with what your birth certificate says. And in sports, that's it. And then everywhere else in life, be happy, be who you are. Yeah. There's no disrespect in that aspect. And there's no disrespect in sports either.
Well said. Well, Brooke, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
appreciate
JP.
it. Good to see you again. As
see
always,
you.
Go have fun.
Yes, I will.
The bar is open.
It was a little early for the bar.
It is open. I think, yes, it is open. They have everything open. I know it is a little early for some. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate
Never too early.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that. Yeah. Timmy does 3 fireball shots before every show. That's good.
That's right.
All right. So we will. The time isn't on the old meter here. Do we break?
22 after. Yes, we could break.
Right, let's hit a break. When we come back, Coach David Zimroth's going to join us. We're going to talk a little hoops. It is hoop season. College hoops is starting up. NBA is going strong, so we got to talk a little hoops with him and revisit a time at Florida State when he was coaching with Bobby Sura and that group. Sammy Cassell, Edwards, an incredible Charlie Ward, if you've heard of him as well. So we'll do that when we come back. We're live out here at Innisbrook for the Pro Cup Rivals Series. We'll have more on that. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. If you've been involved in an accident or have any legal issues whatsoever, they will give you a free case evaluation. They're one of the attorneys in Tampa Bay, Scott Jeeves. So go to jeeveslawgroup.com, contact them through the website, tell them JP sent you. Back in 3, stay with us.
Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing, reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. We're coming to you live from Innisbrook Golf Course, Innisbrook Resort out here in Palm Harbor. It's a beautiful day. Temperatures in the right now, a little windy for the golfers, but we're sitting here on the 18th hole of the Pro Cup Rivals Series, which has basketball, hockey, football, and baseball. All these all-stars and Hall of Famers participating here today. So we'll talk to Bobby Sir a little bit later on. John Smoltz will join us, hopefully live, done in time. So we'll have all those guys.
As long as your battery lasts that long.
Yeah, we're having some technical challenges, but not bad. I think we'll hold out. The show will last as long as the battery lasts.
That's
we got Coach Z here. Just say hello to Coach Z, Timmy.
There he is. Yeah. Coach, good to have you.
First time I'm actually on the tube here.
Yeah, we see you. We actually see you. Handsome lad that he is.
Probably should take off my hat.
Yeah. So you guys have heard him talk hoops all the time. He coached where Z and I got to know each other with Florida State in the early 90s when he coached and recruited Bob Sura out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. It's a great recruiting story. And Bobby's here playing. He played 11 years in the NBA. You had a few NBA players on that squad, didn't you?
You had 4 first-round draft picks on that team. We had Charlie, Bobby, Doug Edwards, and Sam Cassell. So we would have had to do pretty well with those 4. Otherwise, we wouldn't know where.
How the hell do you not win a national championship with those guys?
That's what we keep asking ourselves. But we had some other situations that we dealt with a lot. We were a little bit of a social staff back then.
Yeah. And but those were times. And I remember when Bobby came in. Not very highly recruited.
No.
Could tell a little bit about that story.
You know, we got a call from a guy that coached Pat Kennedy in college at King's College in Wilkes-Barre, and Ed Donahue. And he told us there was a kid in Wilkes-Barre that was probably the best player he'd ever seen in Pennsylvania. We went up to watch him. I was the one who went up to watch him. And I did not come away and, wow, what a great shooter, this or that, but incredible athlete, incredible competitor, and could get anywhere he wanted to go on the court. Pat Kennedy went up and watched him play and came back and said he's a pro, got to recruit him. So Pat really was the guy that did the best evaluation on him. I recruited with Pat, and he wound up becoming the all-time leading scorer, Hall of Famer, and his jersey's retired. So I was telling JP earlier, other than Dave Cowens, he probably is the most decorated basketball player in the history of Florida State.
Was he ACC Player of the Year one year?
He was the ACC Rookie of the Year. Of the Year. We never had an ACC Player of the Year. We never had an ACC first teamer when I was there, which is incredible. But
maybe that had something to do with the media that were voting.
There was a little bias toward Florida State coming in as the new kid on the block. We ruffled some feathers, but it was a great run. And being out here today and spending time seeing his son Braxton, you know what? That's what coaching's all about. It's about the relationships and things of that nature. So I'm humbled and proud today.
Well, you also did you see or you chat with Ray Allen too?
Chat a little bit with Ray. Ray came up at the same time James Collins did, so we talked about it a little bit. Ray was from South Carolina, so I missed out on him. We used to recruit South Carolina hard, but what a great career, Hall of Famer. Yeah. Maybe one of the greatest shots in history of NBA playoffs. Very good golfer, I heard. Former high school coach down in Miami who said, "The heck with it, just stay retired."
Tell me that story.
No, Ray was telling me how parents and stuff, and all these outside influences. It's difficult sometimes at certain schools. So you get to the point where if that's not something that you want to deal with, you do what you were doing before.
You imagine Allen coaching your kid, but you guys, as a parent, you got to go up and tell him what he needs to do. The coach, you can't just let that be. You just can't let Ray Allen coach your kid. You got to get in there. That's just amazing. How do you think you would survive, or how would you operate right now in basketball recruiting with the transfer portal and NIL?
I talk about this with a real dear friend of mine, Brian Yankelevich, who worked with us at South Florida. If I was a head basketball coach in college right now, there'd be a person on my staff full-time, highly paid, who dealt with the portal and all those connections of dealing with kids that you think are going in, already in, etc.
A general manager.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the term general manager, but you got to have someone on your staff that's all they do every day. On the other hand, the NIL stuff, it's right now they're leaving it up to quote unquote the collective, and it's run by the school. I'm not so sure I wouldn't have to have somebody dealing with, by myself on that one, because that's what it's coming down to right now. When you see what the top players are getting, they're not. What
are you hearing? What kind of? I mean, we hear numbers all the time in football and basketball. What are you hearing for basketball?
The number one player in America right now, I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong. AJ Dasta. I probably pronounced his name wrong. Out of Utah Prep, he just signed with BYU. Number one projected draft pick next year as well. $7 million. And when you think in those terms, $7 million, I mean, where is the money coming from on it? There's people that are willing to give money away like it's going out. But I find it unbelievable that a school could come up with that kind of money for a kid that's going to be on campus 8 months.
8 months.
8 months. You're talking August, whatever, to March if they don't make it to the tournament. 8 months. And it used to
better make it to the tournament.
It used to be where we talked about return on investment. So you keep a kid for 3 years, or back then you kept a kid for 4 years. You have a kid for 1 year. What does it do for your program after that? So now they're all very transactional. If I was recruiting right now, I would talk to a kid about why we need him there, but here's what we can do. And if I was at a low major school particularly, I'd talk about, look, you're not getting recruited at the level you want. Come to us for a couple of years. We will help you put up unbelievable numbers. You'll help us win. And you have our blessing to go get paid. You have our blessing. So you're almost like a glorified junior, where you're coming in and there's, if you're a Division I, lower Division I school, whatever, let's just use Florida Gulf Coast, University of North Florida, Stetson. That's what basically you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you have a kid that's going to get 20 as a freshman or a sophomore, they're leaving. They're not staying. And they're getting recruited through a third party. A lot of people talking to them, about, hey, well, if you come here, that's what's happening right now. And if you're at a mid-major, it's happening even, so it's a trickle-down effect, and it's affecting a lot of different programs.
Well, and for the fans, I remember when Doug came in, Edwards and Bob and Charlie, they were together for 2 or 3 years. In all these teams, I remember we covered when I was in North Carolina. I covered a North Carolina team that had Antoine Jameson and Dante Calabria and all these guys. They played together for 4 years. I'm trying to remember some of the other big names on it.
Oh,
Vince Carter, that good.
Jerry Stackhouse. These guys. The team was like playing against an NBA team.
But they'd be there for 3 years.
Right.
The fans get to know them.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know one name on the Florida State basketball team. I'm not one. I watched them the other night. I have no idea who these kids are.
I know one kid.
I have no idea. I mean, they would last year, but even in the years prior where they were really good, it's a whole new team every year.
On that point, I'll tell you what hit home a little bit this year. I watched the Gators Seminole basketball game, which used to be the most intense. You were uptight prior to the game. It was just a very tough environment, whether you played in Gainesville or in Tallahassee, because 3/4 of the kids either chose Florida or Florida State. They all played against each other in high school or travel ball, and it was just a very tense environment. I watched that game a couple weeks ago. There was nothing remotely the same. There was, like you said, no connection whatsoever, and I kind of felt bad. I felt bad about it. As tough as it was to coach in those games, as tough as it was to recruit against Norm Sloan, Monty Tao, Lon Kruger, and Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
It just, there was nothing there. And I'm a fan of that rivalry.
Right. There's just no attachment anymore, which is bad for college basketball. It's bad for college football. It's bad for college sports. And Z, you've been in this game your entire life. How do you fix it? Like, how do you go about fixing this right now? Any idea?
This is what it started. It started on the networks talking about players should be paid. Right? It then got to the NCAA, and everybody's all about paying the kids. And I get it. I get it. Trust me, when I was coaching, there were kids we recruited that had no money at all, no money to do anything. But now the amount of money these kids are getting, they're getting $100,000 a month. If you sign $1 million NIL, you're getting $100,000 a month. They're 10-month deals. Some kid I heard said he wanted $45,000 a month to stay. I mean, it's just, so I think it becomes, number one, harder to coach. I mean, in college, the one thing you never had to do is you never had to coach a kid making more money than you, like they do in the. So, you're an assistant coach. Heck, I don't even want to tell you what the salary was when I was an assistant coach. But let's say you're an assistant coach making a couple $100,000 a year, which is a lot of money. Yeah. You're coaching a kid making more than you.
Right. And he's got all the power.
And it's just, it makes for a difficult situation. But there are 18, 19, 20-year-old baseball players that have gotten big money. Olympic athletes now with their deals. I mean, so across the board, they're catching up. But I don't know how you change it. I don't think it's ever going to be changed.
Well, they got to have some systems in place that make it a level playing field for all teams. Somehow players still get paid with their limits. Even the pro leagues have limits. They have salary caps. They have contracts that they have to honor and stay with teams to create some type of stability. And none of that exists in college right now. And somehow they're going to have to get a hold of that by some major clearinghouse and changing everything radically. But we'll see how it goes.
I was talking to a gentleman, a real dear friend of mine, Larry, worked at University of Georgia together. He was a big name assistant coach in those days. I was just a grad assistant. But we had Dominic Wilkins, and we were talking about what Dominic Wilkins could have asked for if those things were still in place back then. I mean, you're talking about recruiting stories 30 years ago, 40 years ago, that you don't even hear about anymore, right? And none of those guys got paid what they're getting now. They might have got paid, but they ain't getting paid what they get paid now.
So you were, for those of you who watched the movie, what's it called, Air, right? With Sonny Vaccaro? Is that the name of it? Air, yeah. You lived that. You and Sonny were tight.
Yep, we were very close at one point. Then there was a huge division. Not that we're not. I mean, I've been out of the business 20 years or more right now, JP. So I mean, there's a lot of guys I don't stay in touch with, but At one time, I was very close with Sonny Vaccaro. I think the guy should be in the Hall of Fame. I think what he did for youth basketball is amazing. But he really was a pioneer in doing the things he did, and it was very realistic about that stuff.
The movie was pretty spot on.
I mean, you're trying to get a guy to sign for sneakers and this and that. But what happened with that is when he was at Nike and then left over something, him and George Raveling were tied at the hip. George took over Nike. Sonny went to Adidas. And after that, nothing was the same. Now there was not just a Nike camp, there was an Adidas camp. And now you had sneaker factions that were coming into play. And if you were a Nike school, you were welcomed. If you were an Adidas school, it was like, well, wait a second, you know what? And it became very, very difficult to deal with a lot of times.
Yeah. Interesting stuff back in the day, how all that recruiting went down with the sneaker.
Now there's 3 different tours. You got the Nike tour, you got the Adidas tour, you got the Under Armour tour. I heard Puma's putting together. So it's like everybody's pledging this allegiance, you know what I'm saying? And it's just it's sad in a way.
Yeah, it's all
the glamour of recruiting and the glamour of college basketball, in my opinion, within our own little circle is not there anymore.
And playing for a school and playing for an ideal instead of playing for money. And I think that's why you see so many college fans now that just are pulling away from the game. I have good friend on a group chat at FSU, and it's like, this is our group chat is about who's getting NIL and who's not, what they're asking for and what they're not. And we're all like, what are we even doing? Like, I'm gonna go hunting. I'm gonna go fishing. This is nonsense.
Now, I'll say this, all the head coaches, I can't speak for football, but head coaches in basketball, they're always looking for, well, let's have it where we can practice in the summer. So now all of a sudden it becomes a 12-month deal, which I couldn't stand. It's like everybody needs a break,
of course.
Okay. But no, they needed to have that. Then they wanted to have practice start at a certain time. Everything they ever wanted, well, they're the ones that have created this situation. And now these same guys have gone out of business. They're all complaining about how it's out of hand. Well, this didn't just start from the NIL. It started with practice time. It started with individual workouts. It started with everything. I mean, we used to send kids home during the summer. They played in summer leagues. They worked a summer job. They might not up all the time, but they had a summer job. I mean, and everybody had a chance to kind of just get away. And you went and visited the kids in Miami, let's say Doug Edwards. Or you went up to Baltimore, saw Sam Cassell. But, some kids stayed and did summer school. Now it's like it's just nonstop. And I don't think it's healthy.
I don't think it's good for the kids. No, they need to play different at different times. Well, Z, thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you.
No, this is.
I didn't get you really a chance to ask about. Are you following the FSU team, the Gator team? Like, who's got what this year? What do you see?
I mean, Florida State. I think they're 7-3. The 7 wins with games they should win. The 3 games they lost to Florida, NC State, and
LSU.
Yeah. So the games that you're saying, okay, they lost them. So I don't know how I would look at Florida State in terms of the regular ACC season. I'm hoping they play well, but they're in a transitional period right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that program, how much longer Coach Hamilton is, so on and so forth. I mean, the whole athletic department, in my opinion, is going through a little transition right now. Florida, he had some controversy a few weeks ago about some stuff that I have no idea if it's true or not. It seems to be washed under the, it's under the rug now, but they're ranked in the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, if you told me they're 10 team when I watched them, I'd say no way, but they're 9-10-0. They've got a kid from Bartow, Walter Clayton. That's one of the better players in the country. And so at least that's happening. But I say this in ending. Until Florida State, Miami,
Florida,
the Gators, you at UCF, you're talking 4 major conferences, they all need to get to the point where basketball, everyone's good. Football's everybody's good. That happens, everybody's going to get well. Everybody's going to have great recruiting and great interest. Yeah. But right now, none of that's really happening across the board.
No, like it was. They've kind of lost their recruiting edge because of NIL and transfer portal and all those things. All right, see, go have some fun, my man.
You got it. Thank you.
Let's play the gym up. And we'll hopefully talk to Bobby a little bit later on when he gets done. Hopefully he plays well. Yeah. I think it's just fascinating to me. I mean, you've been covering cops for a long, long time. And, when I've talked for 20 years about paying the players, but also doing it within reason with some type of sanity to it. And the people that run the game, that get paid millions and millions of dollars to do football schedules, and I don't know what the hell they do besides quits. Those are the people that have just not been able to make the rules to make this happen, and to clean it up and to get some guardrails. And it's just been crazy, bananas. All right, we'll take a break. Go ahead.
I was going to say we talked about it a little bit, I think on Tuesday. Or maybe it was yesterday, since we had no sound Tuesday, but about paying players is fine. It was long needed. I think everyone was for it for the most part, but it's got to be governed in a better way. You need to have caps. You need to have tiers. We talked about 5-star, 4-star recruits. However you're going to govern it, or have a set limit. Okay, look, your $500,000 is what you get this year. Or more if you play a certain amount of plays or a percentage of the season or whatever. That's fine, but you got to put a cap on this stuff. You can't have a 19-year-old dude, 18-year-old dude that hasn't played a lick of college basketball going in and saying, "I want $7 million this year."
Right, and
worth of work.
Even any of the NFL owners in baseball, and not baseball, not so much, but the NFL owners were smart enough to put rules in to control themselves, because they couldn't control themselves. They put a rookie salary cap in because it didn't matter. They had to pay their number one pick. You can't not take a guy and not pay him. So he could literally demand whatever the hell he wanted or not play. So what did they do? They put in a rookie salary cap. And I think the first thing I would do is cap coaches' salaries. Cap coaches' salaries. You got to cap the players' salaries. You got to cap the coaches' salaries, and get rid of these ridiculous buyouts. Guys walking away with $72 million, Jimbo Fisher, because why? Because the alumni can't control themselves. If Nick Saban was on the open market, what would he get? What would he get? He could just name his price, and that money that should be going to players or to other programs goes to one person. And if he decides he doesn't want to coach it, he just walks away, gets fired and walks away with $72 million, because that's what a lot of these guys do. They just stop coaching and they walk away and they get fired and they get their money. So this is doable. I hear so many people say, "Oh, well, it's too out of control. You can't control." I disagree with that. You have most of these are state institutions, federal money. There's ways to say you don't want to play within these rules, then you're not getting any federal money. They'll comply. They'll comply very quickly. Trust me on that.
Well, and this whole thing NIL is new enough that you can still change it, right? It's not embedded in stone or anything. It's still new.
Yeah, and you can still have NIL, but you can put caps on that. Certain money goes to the players, and then the rest of it goes to the school or the team, which it always has. I mean, sponsorships, that money always went to the school. But at least you're getting the players paid. You're putting guardrails on it. You can have transfers. You get one free. The second one out 4 games. The third one, you got to go to a hardship committee. I think that's fair. I mean, if you need to transfer more than that, then you got issues.
Then you're the one with the problem. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I understand getting away from certain, coaches who, if coach changes, you get a free transfer. Those things are easily done. But what is just a complete no guardrails. Anything goes. And there's no caps on any of it, and it's just crazy business. All right, we'll take another break. When we come back, we're going to have Nick Clark's going to join us. He's the tournament director, and we're going to find out more about this Pro Rivals Cup. This is the first of its kind. It's in right now, but I think it's something that I think is really going to be part of our sports landscape moving forward, because I think people want to see this. They want to see people they know, even if it's not their sport. So we'll talk about that. We're brought to you by Italiano Insurance, the great folks over there who could shop your insurance around and save you thousands and hundreds of dollars. 813-7799. You got those new bills coming in for your homeowners insurance. Just call them up, let them shop it around, see if they can find some of the new companies that are coming in and get you with a company that's actually going to pay when you have a claim. So they vet these companies, and they're not going to put you with a company that doesn't do that, and there are plenty. So that's another advantage to the customer service at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. Hey, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. There's been a lot of talk about lab-grown diamonds. Oh, they're just like the real thing. No, they're not. They're not the real thing. They're lab-grown. They're fake. You want to give your honey a fake diamond? Not a good way to start off the relationship, folks. Take my word for it. Get the real thing, and no place better to shop than the Gold and Diamond Source. And remember, if you shop anywhere else, you don't know if it's real. You don't know what you're buying. The Gold and Diamond Source has been in business for over 40 years. Julie and Steve Weintraub, great benefactors in our community. You know it's real. It's the only place to shop. And if you're planning to purchase for the holidays, don't forget to take advantage of our layaway offer at the Gold and Diamond Source. You can reserve your favorite piece now and pay in easy installments, making your holiday shopping stress-free. As always, we offer up to 5 years interest-free financing for just $84 a month when you finance $5,000. It's the only place to shop for the holidays. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCar Tim. That is JP Peterson right over there.
I love it when you bring it back, partner. I
can always bring it back. I just don't have the live reads to walk it back in with.
But you do all the other good stuff, with the apps and all that stuff. Go ahead, do your spiel.
I try. JP is live from Innisbrook, the Copperhead course. For what is it? CFY Pinellas.org.
See, you got that. That is the charity that this benefits this week. It's Pro Rivals Series, and this is the Pro Cup. This is the Pro Cup, because they're going to, and our tournament director is going to be here in a little bit to talk about that. So we'll leave it to him and get everything right. But yeah, this is going to be a cool event. I think it's got legs because, again, as I said, people want to see, no matter what they're doing or playing, they want to see people they know, right? They want to see John Smoltz. They want to see Ray Allen. They want to see Jeremy Roenick, in an atmosphere where it's not, like the PGA Tour, that's a whole different deal. And it's awesome out here. You come out here and you see the greatest players in the world, hits that you just can't even imagine. And I love it. I mean, especially the way they do it here at the Valspar. So fan friendly. It's a great time of year for the weather in March. They get a great field every year on a fantastic course, and it's a party. But it's a different kind of deal. You're here, you want to see this. It's a more serious thing, where this is a party and all those things, the accoutrement that come along with it. But you got guys that are really fan interactive, and they're gonna, as you walk along with them, you can talk with them along the ropes.
Right.
Hey, Smoltz, tell me about the '94 Braves team, or whatever you want to, and they'll interact with you and sign autographs and do all that stuff. So I think it does have legs. I think people, even though they're not, and I think we relate to them as golfers more too. They duff shots just like even the pros hit fat shots, but you'll see them hit bad shots, and then when you see them hit a great shot, you're like, whoa. And a lot of these hockey
televised
players
locally or anything, because man, that's the kind of stuff I like to watch on TV, right? Like,
I don't, I look out here right now, I don't see any television cameras, so I don't think they're televising this in any way, but I'm sure that's part of the plan. That's where they're going to go. Yeah, and mic up the players, right?
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Smoltz and Bettis talking shit to each other. I mean, that'd just be fantastic, right?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I got gold medals in my ears.
I got this Lombardi trophy in my bag, so I can't really. Yeah. It's a little heavier than yours without one, So yeah, I mean, these guys are brutal. I mean, they are brutal to each other, which is what we really enjoy. I wanted to get, while we await our guest, talking a little bit, some other news. Rich Rod going back to West Virginia. How about that?
That's crazy.
I saw it. I retweeted this, and it was like, okay, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the season, Indiana was going to be in the playoff, Arizona State and Boise State are going to get buys, Bill Belichick is going to coach UNC, FSU is going to go 2-10 because of a dog poop curse. What else was on there? I mean, go on and on and on, and just the things that have happened in college football that you never would have predicted. And a lot of it I like, because we've had these conference biases for so long, and here we see conference doesn't matter a lick, these teams come from other conferences and make it to championship games. We saw it in almost in every league this year, which is interesting. So Rich Rod's heading back to West Virginia, where he had a hell of a run. That's going to be interesting. And did you
there in the mid 2000s or something? I think he was there.
Yeah, they had a really good Matt White at quarterback. Remember that team?
Yep.
They had some really good guys that I think Pat McAfee was on that team, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was on that team. Yeah. So they're trying to relive the glory days, so to speak. Scott Frost going back to UCF, trying to duplicate their 2017 season, their national championship season. And then yesterday, some lunatic Ohio legislator puts a bill out there to make planting a flag a felony.
Come on. What is happening?
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You don't need to make it a felony. I'm not for it, by the way. I think it's taunting. You want to take your flag and run around with your, in the corner of the end zone where your fans are sitting, fine. You want to go try and plant it on the middle of the field on the logo, I think that's taunting. I think there's nuances to this. I think what Florida State does with their sod cemetery, it's an age-old tradition. They're very, they go to the corner of the end zone. They surgically cut it up and put it into a bag with not, nobody's jumping around or the crazy ceremonies or stomping on logos. And it's just been something that they do. A lot of people don't like it, but I think there's nuances to this. I don't think that's taunting. Now, you want to rip up the grass and pull it up and put it in their face and run around with it, that's taunting. You want to do it respectfully in the corner of the end zone, put it in a bag, and then take it back and have a ceremony at your sod cemetery. I think that's fine. People will disagree. But I just think there's a difference between taunting and celebrating, and I know it when I see it. Is that fair?
That's fair. I don't have a problem with the flag planting. I mean, it's not something I would do or promote, but to me, it's part of the romance that is college football. You go, especially in rivalry games like Ohio State and Michigan, but I also get that it's going to ruffle feathers. It is what it is. But I think, for a fan that has no stake in either school, when you watch that, when you used to watch Baker Mayfield do it, I think it's kind of cool, but I also get that it ruffles feathers and that it's not for everybody. But I'm also on the side, if you don't like it, then win the game.
Right.
And if you're not going to win the game, you're going to get with what comes with not winning the game. All right. You're not getting in the playoff, and you're not, you're probably going to get a flag planted on your 50-yard line.
I just think I see both sides. Isn't that taunting? If you're out there and do that, to me, that's taunting. You're engaging the other team. You're going out to midfield. You're planting the flag. I don't like it. I think it's. Listen, I grew up in it. I know I'm an old head, but I grew up at a time where you respected your opponents. You respected them. Right. I told you this. I got kids in my 11 and under basketball at the YMCA walking through the handshake line saying, "Your game's trash. Your game's trash."
No, you can't do that. Oh hell!
I mean, I'm looking at the coach, going, "What are you like? That's okay." And I tell my kids all the time, we don't talk trash. We say good game. We don't talk trash during the game. We play ball. We play ball. And if they ever talk trash, you come to me. I'll take it up with their coach or the official. Last game, we had parents talking to my players from the other teams talking to my players and heckling them. Like, are you kidding me?
You're immediately banned from any future games ever with your kids.
Yeah. I told the ref, I said, you go over there. I told the ref, this is the YMCA, by the way, 11 and under. I told the ref, I said, would you please go over there and say something to those parents over there as a group, as if you need to. I said, because if not, my parents are going to get into it, or I'm going over there, and that you're not going to like how that works. But they went over there and said something, and, thankfully those parents shut the hell up. Like, I can't even imagine saying something to some other parent's kid derogatory about their game or what they're doing. I can't even imagine that. Like, how stupid are you? I mean, and it's, a lot of this is on the parents too. So, but when you see at a larger level, it's, you see college football players who should know better, jumping around, ripping up logos, ripping up stuff, throwing it up in the air, planting flags. I just think I think that's taunting. I think it's disrespectful. So,
where are you at on the horns down thing? Where are you at on this at a game? If you're playing the Longhorns,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think
taunting though. It's taunting.
That's fans doing that. Players will do it. Now, if you go into the end zone and you score and you do horns down with your players, now if you want to run up to a Texas player and put a base, that's taunting. That's taunting. You want to do it you want to celebrate with your fans in the corner of the end zone or your players and go horns down. I'm okay with that. Okay. Listen, I'm not saying my opinion's right. I'm just saying that's where I'm at with it.
Where you were on that. All right.
Yeah. And like doing these official bannings, like conferences banning horns down or, conferences or a legislature. Like, you don't have, look, dude, you're an Ohio legislator. You have one of the biggest fentanyl problems in America. Okay. You've got homelessness, you've got inflation, you've got a lot of law enforcement issues. You got a lot to deal with. We don't need you spending time crafting legislation, make flag planting a felony. It's because you want to go arrest somebody from Michigan and put them in jail. I mean, how stupid are you? Jeez, Pete, come on, we're better than that. But I do think, right, and I do think it's on the coaches. Like, and that's why I really appreciate to the UF incident. And listen, Florida. I'm not here to say that Florida State has been perfectly. Their sportsmanship has been great. When our kids jump up and you're down 30 points. And, they want to jump up and celebrate over some kid that they just tackled. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, shut up, go back to your huddle and try to make another tackle because you don't tackle very well in the first place. So I don't like all those antics. And people say, well, listen, the game has changed. This is how kids are these days. I'm not going to accept that. Sportsmanship is sportsmanship. And I'm not about that.
It can be taught. Sportsmanship can be taught and learned at a young age. And when you do that correctly, we have a group of young men who are playing collegiately or whatever the sport or in high school, and they're respectful to each other. You can have fun and jib jab and trash talk. I mean, that's great in the right way, but you're not going to have the disrespect that I see that you're talking about. And I despise that. I despise that. Is it okay if we get into this for just a little bit? I don't know what you had next until our guest shows up. Can we get into some Bill Belichick talk real quick?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely.
I want to ask you now as he's now a coach in the ACC. I was thinking of this last night. before he actually or it was announced that he agreed, but we knew it was going to happen. How do you think this is going to affect attendance in the ACC? Like if Bill Belichick's coming, if North Carolina and SMU are playing next year and North Carolina comes to Dallas, I'm sure as hell going to see Bill Belichick on the sideline at Gerald J. Ford Stadium.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because that doesn't move the needle for me at all.
No.
If he's coaching well and they have a good team and they're winning games, okay, yeah. Now I'm interested. Okay, right. So wow, North Carolina's ranked 7th. Okay, I'm interested. If they come, to Tallahassee and they're not ranked, does it make the game better? No, it does. Now, so
just have no interest.
Bill Belichick 1-4. Am I? Hey, let's go to Tallahassee this weekend because Belichick's in town with his 1-4 Tar Heels. No, if they're a top 5 team. And, an FSU for some, miracle gets into the top 5 and we got a top 5 matchup or top 10 or 25, whatever. I'll take top 25. Now it's more interesting. So to me, it's just if he wins, he's interesting. If he loses, it might be somewhat interesting just to laugh at and to say, we told you. Listen, so he's going to coach college football like a professional coach. Is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah. Just like a program, yeah. Looks like a franchise. He's going to have he's going to have a general manager running the NIL stuff, just like we talked about with Coach Z. He's going to have a guy that's in charge of recruiting for him, and he's going to coach.
Well, it's a radical departure from what has been done. The game is changing. It is becoming more of an NFL style game in terms of player development, player recruitment. My thing is sort of, having Tom Brady with him. He's not been a good coach. So is he bringing Brady? Is Brady quarterbacking for him? I mean, I think that's a reality we all have to embrace right now. When he did not have Tom Brady, he was a mediocre coach. Tom Brady went and won a Super Bowl. What did Belichick do when Brady left? He was horrible. Those were terrible teams.
Before Brady got there, I mean,
he was average at best. Go look at his numbers.
Weren't lighting the world on fire,
Yeah, so just from a pure, I mean, and this is, I think, one of the reasons he didn't get an NFL job. And I heard that when he went and met with North Carolina, he was like, "Well, I'm going to have a general manager. I'm not good. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do." And they bought into it. Well, good for them. I hope it goes well. I don't think it will. I just don't think it will. He's not that good a coach. He's not a difference maker. And I think there's a lot of people, especially football coaches, and I've talked to I texted with a couple of college football coaches, and I said, will Belichick make a difference from X's and O's? You know what I got back? LOL. No. It's a different game. It's a much different game than the pro game, and he's not that good at X's and O's anyway, obviously, when it comes to not having Tom Brady. I know that sounds disrespectful, but I think the numbers bear that out. The dude went through an NFL season without an offensive coordinator. I mean, that's how arrogant he is about what he thinks he can do in terms of, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I know it sounds just terribly disrespectful. But again, if you remove Tom Brady from his equation, he was a very good football coach. And so I don't think that he's swimming in waters of which he is absolutely completely unaware. They're different game plans. They're different. He'll try to run it like a pro program, and they're kids. They're not going to respond to that type of pro. I don't think. I could be 100% wrong, but the 2 college coaches I texted with, assistant coaches, they were like, no, it's a totally different animal. And one of those college coaches has coached in the pros as well. So he knows both. And he says, completely different animal. I mean, they still have 20 hours a week with the players. I know coaches pretty much abuse that, but it's a completely different atmosphere. So I'm a no. I'm a no. It's a no for me.
It's going to be fun to watch for me. And like I said, I don't care what his record is. If he rolls through here at any point in the ACC to go play SMU, I'm in. I am in.
You're going to go watch him on the sideline? Look, he's got a hoodie that's cut off. Wow.
No, but I want to be in the interview room after the game. I definitely want to be in the interview room after the game.
Because he's going to give you some great answers.
Yes.
We're on to Florida State.
Hey, Coach, do you miss Foxborough yet?
Oh, so you want, speaking of taunting, you just want him back so you can go into the interview room and taunt him. Like I once did to Steve Spurrier. Yes, I get that. Okay. All right.
Hey, Coach, does Tom
right,
Brady
sign
have
me
a
up.
kid? Does Tom Brady have a kid that you're going to recruit this year?
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna go well. I don't think it's gonna. And I just, so much of college football. I mean, look at the teams that win. All right. I know it's a changing environment. Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is incredible shit starter. Have you listened to some of his pregame speeches or postgame speeches?
Oh, yeah.
The guy is a fire and brimstone emotional dude, and it works for kids. It works for players. I look at, same thing with Nick Saban. He was the same way. Bob was a different type of charismatic dude. You got to have charisma. To me, look at all the great the college coaches that are doing. Deion Sanders, he's dripping with charisma. This is where it's going, not the biggest milquetoast, uncharismatic dude. And I know I've watched shows. He's much better. He's much more glib now. And yes, there's a little funny side to him. He ain't doing that when he's coaching. He's not.
Right.
He's not. So it's completely antithetical to anything that's worked in college. So if he pulls it off, great for him. I just don't see it happen.
Well, I also can't wait to see how it affects recruiting, right? To see if they're in play for some players maybe they wouldn't have been before. I don't know if I'm a parent. Do I want my kid to go play for Bill Belichick at UNC? Does that move the needle for me as a parent now? Like, I can't imagine it does. He's going to be there like 2 years maybe at the most, and then his son's taking over.
Which absolutely blows my mind. To me, that's just a legacy play, a nepotism play. And I was around for maybe the most famous or infamous nepotism move. And that was Bobby Bowden and Jeff Bowden. Yeah. It was a utter disaster. I remember being specifically at a Wake Forest game in 2009, I think it was, where it was towards the end of the Jeff Bowden debacle. And Bob sitting in there in the press conference and defend losing 30-0 to Wake Forest, not scoring a point against Wake Forest. And I'm just like, this is sad. This is sad that Bobby has to do this. And it's unfair honestly, it's unfair to the kid. If I was a kid, I would never want my dad to do that. It just got me a job. Really? That's what you want? You want your dad to get you a job, a high profile job like this? I think it's I thought the people at North Carolina were smarter than this. I really did. I think there's a move of desperation. I didn't think they got rid of Mac Brown and hired somebody older.
What were the odds of that? Of Mac Brown's replacement being older than him? Like, I'd have loved to know the odds.
I think they're about the same age. Mac might be like, the fact that he's even in the neighborhood is like, it's a young man's game. Go through.
But what's going to happen next year? All right, we're in the 2025 NFL season. We're in Bill Belichick's first year at North Carolina. North Carolina's 1-4. The Panthers, Carolina Panthers, are 1-5, and they decide to fire Dave Canales. Hey, Bill, you want to come back to the NFL? What? He's going. He's going to take an NFL job.
Of course. And I think maybe part of his play is, I'm going to go win in college. I'll just, crush everybody because I'm such a great coach. And I'll go 12-0 in the regular season at UNC, and everybody's going to be beating down my door. Okay. Yeah. That's your plan? Let's see. Make me wrong.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see it.
Yeah. I don't know what the over-under. Have you seen the over-under for North Carolina?
No, I have not.
For next year? I'm sure the Vegas already has odds. I have no idea what their roster is. And here's the other part. Neither does he.
Yeah.
You have no idea who's going to be on your roster for next year. Who's going to stay? Who's going to leave? If I'm a player at North Carolina, am I Am I like
7.5 wins according to FanDuel? 7.5.
7.5? Oh, under.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their schedule, but I'm going under that. Hell yeah. But let's see, let's see. Like, I could be totally wrong. Maybe tomorrow, Mensah from Tulane says I think he already committed to Duke though, didn't he? He committed to Duke. Carolina, he committed to Duke. Okay, let's see that. So I don't know. I definitely go under 7.5. So you got to get to 8 wins in the regular season.
They went 6-6 this year, right? Just 3-5 in the ACC. So, man,
I'll see it. All right, let's take another break. We'll come back on the other side. We should have some players coming up here in just a little bit. I'm looking at some of the scores. So we'll run down the scores here at the Pro Cup.
Yeah.
Tim Brown and Billy Joe Tolliver up 1 on Jeremy Roenick and Ryan. Yeah, there we go. Vince Coleman and Tyler Clippard. My man Tyler Clippard, who I've played with many times, up 2-0 on Ray Allen and Nick Van Exel. Yeah, they're playing golf. They ain't playing 2-on-2.
Nick
all right, we'll have all the scores when we come back. Stay with us.
Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Tarpon Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCar Tim. Way over there is JP. You can see him over there live from
the
Copperhead course.
Yeah, this is how about we do a little walk and talk while we await some of our guests.
All right, so we're do that.
Yeah, so I can do it right with my phone. We'll see. We won't get too far away from the hot spot here, so we'll see what we got. All right, at the Copperhead course. So many have been out here for Valspar. You remember the iconic 18th hole up the hill. So we're here in the Champions Club, so we'll take you through that. But it's a beautiful day out here. They got the pin top right. That's a tough pin. That is almost impossible to get to because that slopes so hard from I guess your left to right by this. So that's going to be interesting. It's beautiful. Here's the Champions Club, which is really, really nice.
Did you get a beer yet?
The bartenders. No, look at this selection though. What do we got here, guys? Oh, we got the Horse Soldier whiskey. That's good stuff. We got the Captain Morgan. That's what I'll be doing a little bit here later. Got some Patron. There you go.
Oh,
Timmy.
Man, yeah.
Did you get Timmy a couple of cold Patrons there, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right.
I'll have a double Patron dressed and chilled, please.
All right, cool. Oh, I think we have the tournament director here, so we'll head. I was giving a walk and talk. What's up? How are you? This is Nick Clark, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Nick? Come on and sit right down. I was showing him the bar and everything where we'll be hanging out later on. So, how are you?
It's open.
The bar is open.
Everything. It's ready. We got guys out. This is great. We got the first session on the way. So, exciting day.
I'm looking at these names, and this is what's exciting is I know who these people are. I come out, Valspar is a whole different deal out here. Obviously, it's the PGA Tour, but half the field we don't even know anymore because of what's going on with the PGA Tour. I know every one of these guys that you have out here. Talk about some of the names you got out here.
Oh man, we've got a lot of exciting names, and the best part behind it, with the name, also comes a lot of great golf too. Watching these tee shots that these guys had to start things, it's backing up their reputation of their name and bringing the competitive juice ready to go right out the gate.
Now, I know Smoltz. Smoltz a good friend of the show. He's in my fantasy football league. Had to be for the division title for the first time ever the other day. So I'm riding a little high. Can't wait to rub it in when he gets over here. But he's a great ambassador for this, and obviously he's been out on the senior tour, played in some of the USGA events. Hell of a player and hell of an ambassador for this tour, right?
That's correct. John has been bought in early on and a great ambassador for what we're building with the pro and specifically the Pro Cup. So John has been, one leading the charge, really working his network. As soon as he makes a call, it's very quick to get a quick yes. Yeah. And that just contributes to, his reputation, his stature within the game, but also the golf game too, which is great.
So I've been trying to explain the concept to the folks here. You know it a lot better than I do. So tell me about what's going on here this week and then what you have planned for the future. Because I think it's really exciting. I think it's something that fans will really get into.
Yeah. So this week you're going to see, 4 teams coming together, right? Everyone's used to seeing the traditional Ryder Cup 2 teams. So we're pulling off with 4. You've got day 1 underway with a scramble format, day 2 shamble. So it's still team format. And then ultimately leading to what will be an exciting Saturday where they're going to go head-to-head in single matchups.
Oh, nice.
So after Friday, once we get to the leaderboard and we're seeing how they're stacked, team 1, 2, 3, and 4, we'll kick things off Saturday morning with a consolation bracket, 3rd place versus 4th place, and then ultimately that championship bracket to crown a champion. So that's what we're doing here with the Pro Cup, launching it, and then really excited about what we have for 2025. So we're going to launch individual sport tournaments. And so what you're going to see are these retired athletes that are out here participating in the Pro Cup, meeting players from their who are actively playing as well. So you're going to have a lot of youth, veterans all coming together, for example, from the sport of football, all going head to head in stroke play. So we're ultimately going to start to crown the best golfer from the sport of football. We're going to then continue it and go hockey, basketball, baseball, and create this series for these guys that they're creating. And we're hearing it even from the active guys and these young guys. I got a text this morning. This looks great.
Give me the name.
I can't.
Come on, Nick.
We've got a lot of great interest. And this week alone, right? This is the first time we've done this, and the guys here are sending out what we're doing across our channels for fans all along. It's working.
So you'll have an NFL 48 guys, NFL 54.
Yeah, 54. So it's going to be
mix of active guys and former players.
Correct. And we're going to replicate that 4 times.
So there's this name on a scale of 1 to 10. What would this name be?
It's a 10. Yeah, I'd say it's a 10. Nice. Yeah, we're excited. And we're really excited to make some big announcements over the next couple of weeks with both the NFL and the hockey NHL one that's already locked in, ready to go. Sweet. And back half of the schedule is ready to coming along as well.
That's my man Timmy Ham back in our Dallas affiliate. They have a From the Rough Pass with Johnny Gerber, is very popular. So I'm gonna ask you to be on their show as well, so you can get this. They've got millions of followers of that podcast, so you want to be on that as well. So I, at first glance, in just having covered these sports all my life, I'm gonna say baseball. I'm putting my money on baseball, and then I'm gonna go hockey.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go football. And then I'm going to go NBA. Am I close?
Oh, man. I would say the pressure is definitely on baseball. John came out right out the gate, Smoltz, even our press conference the other day, and he goes, I'll claim it. We'll put the target on our back. And you could see the reaction across the captains, the other guys. You can hear the chatter. They're going for each other. But, yeah, I think on paper you would say it's baseball, hockey, football, basketball. But at the end of the day, seeing the basketball team that they assembled, I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, and I think John Barry likes it that way.
Well, what's interesting is you've got the names that you have out here. These are guys that have won championships and competed at the highest level. Yeah. And we all know that this sport is 99% mental. I mean, they all can hit it, obviously. But when it gets down to making putts and it gets down to hitting chips, that where the money is on the line, it's more about how you handle it up here. It's necessarily how many reps you've had on the practice green.
Yeah. I'll give you a great soundbite. I got after one of the practice days. I was chatting with Terry Yake and Brad May, and Terry's like, Brad's used to making game-winning overtime goals in this, NHL playoffs. Doesn't phase him.
Right.
You're right. Stays the same. Walking here up the fairway at 18, looking where we're at in the Champions Club. Terry goes, Brad's nervous.
He's nervous.
and that's just, it's so funny to hear. These guys are so accustomed in front of playing in front of, thousands of people, packed stadiums, arenas, etc. You put them out here in a different environment, the nerves start to kick in a little bit. But yeah, it's fun to hear these guys talk about it.
So I heard the players' event last night was raucous, and there was a lot of trash talk. What can you tell me about that last night?
It was a special evening. Pulling these guys together, all 48 of them, they're collective sports. They're not all hanging out, right? Like they're used to hanging out with their hockey guys or baseball guys, but you put those personalities in a room like that, nice, intimate setting, you don't know what to expect. The fireworks started. Yeah. There was some good commentary. Football guys got rowdy. You could sense the ready to go. Hockey guys, they're enjoying each other, having some fun. Baseball's dialed in, I can tell you that, right? They're taking it serious. And then basketball, like I said, I think
whose game surprised you?
Oh man, I'll tell you. We all know J.R. Smith can hit it. Ray Allen, Gerald Henderson. I just watched Tony Kukoc, and
is he lefty?
Yeah,
he play golf lefty too.
Yeah, he is. And he's I think he's going to come out surprising. Like I said, basketball's got a great team. All of them. Baseball, hockey. The hockey guys are very consistent, and then football. Dwight Freeney just bombed right away, setting the tone. So it's going to be really, really exciting.
Now, this is not, from what I can tell, it's not televised this week, or is it?
Not this week, no. But we're in those conversations again. We've got to crawl before we start walking and running. And the best part, we're having those conversations. We're excited about what 2025 bring, and actually doing it in maybe a non-traditional way too, right? Because of the personalities involved in this and the following that these guys bring into the world of golf. I think we're gonna really create something special.
What is it going to be like for the fans? What kind of access are they going to get? Brooke was telling me earlier that they actually encourage the players to interact with the fans and get autographs, not while they're playing, but afterwards.
Yeah, no, I was down at the range earlier as guys were warming up. We had fans lined up. They were signing autographs, taking pictures. Right as soon as they were getting ready to tee off, fans were taking pictures with them. So all these players are embracing it because they also recognize this is a third element, right? The fans are used to seeing them in their sport stadium, etc. But here, easy access, they embrace it and they welcome it. So, yeah.
Timmy, you got any questions for the From the Rough podcast?
I'm just wondering how famous somebody has to be to come play next year. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring.
How's your golf game?
He's not famous enough.
I'm about a 9 handicap, so I don't know if I
play. What sport did you play? Where would you qualify?
Basketball and hockey. Come on, man.
Basketball, hockey. No, I don't think you're going to make the cut.
Dual threat.
I know. Yeah. That's right.
I love Brooks' idea that you get an Olympian team in here too.
Yeah. There's been a lot of interest, right? I'm hearing even everything from UFC fighters to NASCAR, Indy drivers, all that good stuff. So yeah, again, we want to focus on this, make sure we're creating a great experience for these players. We've got it dialed in to do it for these individual sports, but the future brings.
Yeah. And it's amazing how much these guys love to play golf. I mean, they love their sport, but they love golf.
They really do. And that's the beauty of it, right? The beauty of the game brings people together from all different backgrounds. And these guys out here, they're taking it serious.
And the competition.
Yes. Yeah.
Once a competitor, you never lose that.
And love it. This is what they're craving. They've been looking for something like this. They've been asking for it. Jeremy Roenick said it best. He said, we have been wanting this for years. He's been playing, on the celebrity golf circuit for 20
the Tahoe
years.
Thing is huge. It gets some of the biggest ratings of the year.
Absolutely. And what we're trying to do is just, find our space, build on our momentum, and create some sustainability and consistency within their schedule so that, once we get through here, they know our schedule going forward and they're putting it on their calendar.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying these guys are playing, but if you're telling me you got 10 out of 10, we're saying, okay, we're going to have, Josh Allen out here with the NFL. We just have Steph out here with the NBA. I mean, these are huge because they love golf and they love doing it. It'll be in their off season. They get together with their guys and come do something that's just super fun for them, and they can compete.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And I think while big names, great names, also bring great golf games too, which is also exciting because we make this competitive, right? Yeah. And you can sense that amongst these guys. And we really were strategic about building these rosters out with our captains and with all the players to make sure we ultimately were putting on a great product for the fans to enjoy it as well.
So in terms of people that can relate with handicaps, are these guys 10 and under?
Yeah, everyone in this field is 10 and under. And I would say 30 to 35 in total, range anywhere from, scratch to plus 2.5, 3. Yeah, these guys' games are dialed in. Yeah. So now, tournament golf, different deal.
Well, and what jerk put this pin over here? I haven't even seen that one in the Valspar. Whose idea was that? Down left. I mean, come on, let the ball feed back a little bit.
Well, given the format, right, with the scramble and the shamble, right, we wanted to challenge them a little bit once we get them up on the greens. So,
nice. Yeah. I can't wait to see the players come through here and try to make some of these putts, but we'll see. Nick, what else can you tell me or tell the fans about how they get tickets, get out here? What's the experience going to be like?
Yeah, so tickets are available at the ProRivalsOpen.com. We're here today. We'll be here tomorrow through Saturday. Saturday, like I said, it's a day. We're crowning a champion. And these players are going to really celebrate it. Players even that don't make that championship bracket, they're already talking about wanting to stick around and watch it. So we've got the buy-in. But, as a fan, from the fan experience, a lot of brand activations. We're going to have the Tampa Bay Lightning out here tomorrow. Lots of
Thunderbugs coming out?
Here yesterday. And
he's a shit starter. I know. I work with Thunderbug.
I'm shocked. Thunderbug left in one piece after they went into a hockey locker room. That was a funny experience.
I can imagine. And tickets start at what?
$40. $40 for general admission.
15 and under free.
Under free
with the paying and all.
Yeah. And military, active, veterans, all free.
So, nice.
Yeah. So we're excited. From what we're seeing in ticket sales, we didn't know, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know. We're really excited for what we're seeing and excited to welcome some crowds out here.
Right. Over the next How much days. For the Champions Club here?
Yeah. Champions Club. This is all inclusive. Oh. VIP spot overlooking 18 green. You also have access.
Highly recommend it.
And you get a nice access to the back over here of Packards, where you got first tee, player arrivals, so you're up close, personal with all these players. So
nice.
Check it out.
I highly recommend that on the get to the website. Nice. Website again?
The ProRivalsOpen.com.
Nick, thanks so much for having us.
JP, thank you.
I'm not leaving. I'm sticking.
All right.
I'm not effing leaving. I'll be here all week.
Stay. We got you set up perfectly.
Yes, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm super stoked about this. This is really fun and going to be fantastic. Right now, let's see. Oh, Ryan Suckup, former Bucs kicker, playing with Jerome Bettis. I just missed their score, though. Brett Hull, Brendan Morrow, Kukoc, and J.R. Smith are even, all square.
Wait, who's Brendan Morrow playing with? Did you say Brett Hull?
Yeah.
Brett Hull and Brendan Morrow were there? Those buddies of mine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're here.
Oh, wow.
Now here, I'll do some more of the walk and talk here. Stand by. I'm going to hit something on this camera. All right, so we got Joe Carter. Smoltz and Millar are down. Wow, they're down. Down 1 to Ainge and Mike Smith. How about that? Tim Brown, Billy Joe Tolliver up 2-0 on Jeremy Roenick and Getz left. Dwight Freeney and Rippon all square with Brad May. Didn't miss the other name. Vince Coleman and Tyler Clippard up 1 on Ray Allen, Nick Exel. Gagne and Cody Ross, Greg Anthony and Dan Marley. Hockey's up in that one. Patrick Peterson and Brett Kern. Up on Bernie Nichols and Terry Yake, 1-0. And then Fred McCurry, Josh Scobie. There's T-Buck, Terrell Buckley, FSU's own, with Brian Walters playing with Kyle Lowe and Derek Lowe. They're all square. Brian McCann, Josh Donaldson. They're playing Bettis and Suckup. James Wisniewski, Justin Williams, Ron Harper, and Gerald Henderson Jr. are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, and J.R. Smith are up 1-0. J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith, There you go. There's your scoreboard. This is beautiful. We have
Who's who of pro athletes right there.
Yes. Yeah, we have no players playing this 18th yet. Look at this pin. That is so nasty. So nasty. So that's
how many mulligans are you allowed around? Like that would count for me.
Over there. There they are. So all you guys who told your wives you're working, you're now being exposed on the Peterson show. Yeah. They're like, we are working.
Yep, working it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great atmosphere out here. I highly recommend grab some tickets and come out. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Course looks great as always out here at the Copperhead Innisbrook. All right, let's take another break. We'll come back. I got some talk I got to get to.
We got a lot of comments we need to get to too if we have time.
Oh yeah, let's do comments when we come back as well because I have not seen the comments on my show. So we'll do that. Quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. It's the holidays, right? Where else are you going to shop but the Gold and Diamond Source? If you're looking to get engaged, don't forget 0% financing, 5 years, so you can get a $5,000 diamond for $84 a month. That's easy. And they've got a great selections of men's stuff there. They got a whole new men's section of watches and rings and necklaces and all kinds of bling bling for you guys as well. And, of course, the best staff and a local company that's been here for over 40 years that do great things in the community, and Steve Weintraub. So we love the folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Head on out there, easy in, easy out. Don't worry about all the mall traffic. You get right there, and it's fantastic. Gold and Diamond Source. Back in 3. Stay with us.
So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. We're coming to you live from the Copperhead Course Tennis Resort in beautiful Palm Harbor. An absolutely gorgeous day here for the first ever Pro Cup playing here, the Pro Rivals Cup. That is a new golf event matching the best in football, hockey, basketball, and baseball. Some of the great names out here. John Smoltz captaining the baseball team. Jerome Bettis captaining the football team, the NFL squad. John Barry captaining the NBA team, and Jeremy Roenick captaining the hockey team. So hopefully we get some guys coming through here on 18. Joe Carter and Mark Mulder are up 3 up on John Bob Sura. Oh, Bob will not be happy. And Smoltz and Millar all even. So some interesting scores. I thought Smoltz's team would be – he's probably still reeling from the loss in fantasy football to me. Timmy, what do you think?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's no question that's probably ruined his week. I guarantee it.
All right, let's get some comments, music going, and you can read the comments. I see some of them.
Yeah, let's see. John Hill started it off nice this morning. President-elect DJ Trump just rang the NYSE opening bell on the second president to be at the exchange.
Get ready to be rich, people. Get ready to be rich.
Sign of things looking up.
Yes.
Rick, of course, chimes in. Hello, Rick. Good morning to you. JP, former pros at a fan-friendly event. Sorry, Wander, stay in the DR. You have pressing matters to deal with. He's not wrong.
I don't think Wander will be out here. But
Christopher Cole, good morning to you. He says, good morning, everybody. Rick chimed in again. JP curled up every Saturday while FSU was playing.
I did.
It's true.
Drinking heavily. Yes.
Michael LaRue can't let the stadium thing go. He says it's estimated that Rays receive $50 to $60 million annually in revenue sharing. Current payroll projection is $82 million. I don't understand how MLBPA is okay with this. Yeah,
they file grievances every year against the Rays for not. They get 50 to 60, and these numbers aren't public, by the way. These are numbers that were the last time we saw them that were leaked out. So revenue sharing and since that, baseball's overall revenue has doubled, at least doubled. Actually, it's more than that overall revenue. So it just goes to reason that the revenue sharing would follow suit, right? And the central fund money would follow suit. Central fund is what all the different teams get from MLB.com, network, merchandising, globally. These are, teams get, and the last one I saw on that was $60 million. That was probably 6 years ago. So that could be closer to 110, 100 million. We don't know. They don't make it public. And when they don't make it public, you know why. So their revenues are easily, Forbes, well over $300 million. They won't dip that much because of the smaller stadium. I see people saying that all the time. Their average attendance last year was 16,000 plus. This one will be sold out at 11 to 12,000, and I think tickets will be more in demand, more expensive. They have more premium seating that they'll be able to sell. So I don't think, and local revenues, ticket sale revenues were not that much in terms of percentage of what they make anyway. So yes, their revenues, I believe, will still be well over $300 million. And think about this. They've had these revenues for a long time, and their payroll has been among the bottom 5 percentage-wise to their revenues. I think it's they're dead last, the one that I last saw. So anyway you slice it, they've been banking hundreds of millions of dollars, Stu has, and they've won regular season. But, I mean, here again, you have a team with a historic pitching staff. If you went and added 2 or 3 hitters to this team, I think you could make them as one of the favorites to win the World Series. That's how good their pitching staff is. And what do? They go out and get a catcher, which was a great move by Neander to get Danny Jansen for $8 million and basically say, we're done. We're done. With an offense that was second to last to only the historically horrific White Sox. I mean, as a fan base, how do you swallow that? You can't go out, and I would think there'd be a few hitters lining up to play for this team in the friendly confines of Steinbrenner, especially with that short right field porch. You can't go get me 3 hitters, and we're gonna have an offense. But we're told that they're gonna be better this year. That they're getting older and they're gonna improve this year. suddenly Josh Lowe's going to hit 40 home runs. He might in that ballpark, the short court.
Yeah.
But, it's still going to be a lot of Taylor Walls. It's still going to be, a lot of guys that, are hitting under 210 last year. And I'm just, that's a crime. You can go out and get hitters for this team that's going to be historically good pitching and going to do it. And you're going to complain and say, oh, it's because of the stadium. It's because of this. It's because of that. You've banked hundreds of millions of dollars. Go spend it on players and win some games. And if we do have a new ownership group, which once again, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. There is lots of smoke in terms of a new group in Tampa. I talked to a couple of people yesterday that confirmed that as well. The commissioner, Rob Manfred, is aware of them, talking to Major League Baseball about this, the sale of the team. He's aware there's a Tampa group. I'm sure he's communing with them. I have also been told that he's frustrated with what's going on with Stu and this deal. And Major League Baseball has to be embarrassed by the behavior and the letters that the Rays have sent to the county commission, who are just basically trying to, to find out how they're going to pay for this, when they're going to pay for it. They've not missed any deadlines. And the Major League Baseball team, after 2 horrific hurricanes, are pointing the finger at commissioners and the county commission for, quote, delaying when there is no delay. They've missed no deadlines. It's criminal the way they've treated the county commission, in my opinion. But we'll see where it goes from here. The county commission may approve these bonds to call the Rays bluff, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I still don't
Mike Stover, XFL was blatant with player celebrations, like who celebrates like Ray Lewis after making a tackle on 3rd and 3. I've seen a lot of that in the NFL too, so I don't know about that.
I don't like celebrations. I love celebrations. That's great. Celebrate with your team, though. Don't taunt the other team.
Rick says, of course, FSU celebrated tackles. They're few and far between. Baby steps.
Good point. Good point. Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike Stover again. It only works if Belichick reverts to the coach he was 10 years ago, and we know that's not going to happen. Rick, the Bill will be recruiting the sorority houses. Well, that means I'll be seeing a lot of Bill probably, because that's where I do my recruiting, is at the sorority houses.
Yeah, but little Jenny from Parrot does not play a good press man. That's all I'm saying. Well, maybe she does, but not in the way
whenever she wants.
Maybe that was a bad example. Yeah, I don't think she's they're putting her in on 4th and 1.
Maybe he's looking for a kicker. He's just looking for a kicker. That's all.
I don't. He might be able to recruit well there, but if it's going to help his team,
or he's looking for a third. I won't expound on that. Wander Franco trial postponed to June 2nd, says Michael LaRue.
Oh, June 2025. Wow,
he just said June 2nd. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. Michael Stover had a prediction for UNC 10-2. That's his bold prediction. That's very bold.
I'll take that bet. I'll take it. Let's go.
Michael LaRue. I don't care to see Bill Belichick. I'd rather see his 24-year-old girlfriend. I'm right there with you. I'm just hoping she's going to be in tow, because if I'm Bill, I don't trust her. God, how great would that be?
Yeah.
Mike H. Was Manfred in town to broker a Tampa Dome with a new ownership group?
Who's this? Wait, what?
I guess Rob Manfred was in town. He says, was Manfred in town to broker a Tampa Dome with a new ownership group?
In my opinion, yes.
Could be.
I think he's talking prospective groups that want to buy the Rays that are based in Tampa. Yes, I do.
John Hill confirms Rays Wander trial postponed until June 2025. So we got confirmation there.
I wonder. I'm Stu's happy he doesn't have to pay the salary, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then Rick,
for this year too.
Rick wants to know if it's true that Stu and JP will be playing around after the show.
That's a no. That's a no. I'll be happy to buy him a drink. I'll be happy to buy him a drink in the Champions Club. I'd love golf.
If this happens, I need a friendly wager on this round. If JP wins, he gets to pick the Rays' salary for next year.
Yes, I get to pick the payroll. Yes, absolutely. And if he
and
wins,
Rick
which would never
press
happen.
man push tush. There you go. Oh, you'd beat Stu, right?
Oh my God! Come on, seriously? Yeah, I don't even know. I doubt he plays golf though. I doubt he plays golf. I don't think I've ever heard him playing golf. No.
Well, he has to play golf. He's rich. It's like a requirement.
I can't see him doing anything. I don't know.
Except screwing over his business partners.
Well, it's you gotta have time to count the money. So yeah. Update some scores here. David Booth and Dan Quinn one up on McCrary and Josh Scobie. Patrick Peterson and missed that one. Going too quick for me. Kyle Lowe, Derek Lowe, all square with T-Buck and Brian Walters. Jerome Bettis and Ryan Supcup, all square with Brian McCann and his partner. Brett Hull, Brendan Morrow, down one to Kukoc and J.R. Smith. They're on hole number. So we've already got our first score. So baseball is on the board with 2 wins. They have won 2 matches already. So there you go. There's your update.
And this is match play, correct? It's a team match play is what is the format.
Team scramble match play.
Okay.
So and they're playing 9-hole events. Yeah. So Carter and Mulder have closed out Barry and Sura 3-0. It looks like. Brown and Joe Tolliver up 2 up on Jeremy Roenick and Ryan Getzlaff at 7. So they're almost dormy. So we'll have, and hopefully after the show's over, we're going to get some of the players. So we'll have those interviews for you tomorrow on the show.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. All right. Anything else?
How's the phone battery holding up?
We still got 22%. We're good.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. No, I told you we'd be okay. Anything else we missed? You got all the updated sports news in there. Oh, we got to talk about the drones, for God's sakes.
Yeah, we haven't had any current events talk in a while.
What the hell's going on in New Jersey?
Nobody knows.
How is that possible?
How does the FBI not know what's going on? Everybody's saying they're coming from Iran, right?
Yeah. Well, one congressman said yesterday that there's a mothership that took off from Iran like a month ago, and it's sitting off the East Coast sending all these drones. Like they were briefed on this ship like a month ago, and now nobody's talking about it. And there's like 180 sightings a day in New Jersey, and I mean that makes you feel like what? So what would happen if, I don't know? So say what if the Russians wanted to send a few fighters and bombers over here, like not drones but actually fighters and bombers? Like would we know? Would we know? Hey, what's that coming over here? Oh, it looks like a Russian bomber. What do you think we should do? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's let them hang out for a while.
They're saying some of these drones that are flying over New Jersey are like the size of a car.
Yeah. And those are the drones that like have, bombs and missiles in them and collect that. Like ridiculous. Like how can your own government not know that there's or not know where these drones are coming from? Like we have the most sophisticated satellite. We can follow you as you go to the grocery store on satellite and follow you back, but we don't know where these drones are tipping and landing. Like we have no idea.
The more likely answer is they know, they just don't want to say.
Well, exactly. Like there was also a report yesterday that these drones are doing some type of detection of for biological or nuclear event that they're anticipating pre-inauguration.
Rick says the drones are.
They don't want to tell you about it. They don't want to tell anybody about that. Maybe that's something you might want to know.
Rick says the drones are rehearsing for a new stadium tarp.
There we go. Struggling. But they'll like if you try and fly a drone near an airport, they'll take it down like that.
Yeah.
But these drones can just fly all over wherever they want over New York.
Why are
New Jersey, anyway.
Why are they not just shooting them down?
Exactly. Why would you not?
Shoot them down.
But my favorite part is when they interviewed the girl. She's like, "Well, they're definitely not a safety risk. We know that. Well, how do you know? But we just know. But you don't know what they are.
a sedan-sized drone flying over my neighborhood. How is that not a health or security risk if for some reason it crashes into my house?
How how stupid does it sound for the FBI to like right there in Congress say, well, they're not a threat, but we don't know who they are or what they are. How do you like that? Is like the dumbest thing you could say. We have no idea where they're coming from or who's controlling them, but we know they're like how stupid it's. But it's like it's insulting. That's insulting on so many levels to just say that to the public. But
it's bad.
This is where we are.
Yeah.
I can't wait for January 20th to get here. Please.
Can't come soon enough, can it?
Can't come soon enough. Nope. All right, partner. I think that'll do it from here. I'm going to go have some lunch and maybe a couple cocktails here and watch some golf with some of the biggest names in sports.
Sounds like a plan.
It's the Pro Cup Series. Pro Cup Series is the name of it. Just Google it. You can get your tickets. It's going to be a great weekend out here on Saturday. Tomorrow as well. Play continues. So get your tickets. Highly recommend the Champions Club. Come on over here overlooking the 18th green. Beautiful, beautiful setting and all-inclusive. Your favorite, Tim.
I love all-inclusive.
Thanks to Nick Clark for stopping by, the tournament director, Brooke Bennett, Olympic champion, Z, to talk a little hoops as well. Good job from you, Timmy. We will see you guys tomorrow back in the studio. Maybe I'll just hang out here for a couple. You can see the hangover from tomorrow. I'll just sleep here. That'll be fine.
Do it.
All right. See you tomorrow.